Yeah, I'm doing this. I can't get those in your color sit and rug the other. Target, that's it. Then the research combo top of Sha, that agent. To the sun, nearly share and everything channel.
So we often hear about the importance of beginning the practice with the proper motivations. So therefore, so keeping this in mind, so we should try to cultivate the bodhicitta as a motivations to for listening to these profound teachings. So, so bodhicitta, so as you know, so is a genuine wish or an aspiration to achieve complete enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings.
Somebody, yeah, Jin's the chef, and I am not Jin's here, Danny Kisses, yes, my chef. Yeah, Jin's yes, and yeah, Jin's then chef and nurse. That teaches telling a man. There's gender, yeah, Jin's the pair, solar. Jet is a pair that large in the guitar, naming woman dress I take his said, solas, in the young and so good ration in the Santon. So as a Santon said, Santon, the Santo dossing. Yeah, yet in the yet somba, sombas, yet young, sola, young. Condition Masoga, so last. So I need top on it, and Toshu the cities. And yet, Jibanza, you just on any key attention on it. Did it happen to all the thing and Ruchi Banza, Noji, Yetiban, the son, the Lord, the gentleman, Yapushi, legend the Isa. I need top on it, and so Toshu shed last, Toshu shed, that's the seven. You know that. Yet in the pad didn't this. The top of trash was saying, I check around the list. They are so. You so she test. She the young china, young, yeah, toy. Lo, my that yet in the low shoe trouble shed, young, other yeah, toy, lodging, my shepherd, Sheba the Tubman, Gentleman, Monte using. Then another. Share you were share gentleman, do I think? Another on the chamber, she tells it. Monsieur Yella, Combo, Cuba, Yellow, one. She is going. Like this in the SSN, Yella, Comba, Yella, Jet and the Jet, you won't send Comba, Cuba. So the lot of Yella Papa, you was. Then you're gone, and Jala, Chiban, the bitch, the Milo, and Lo Sheba, Chavo, that in it, Santo. The Gong and Degradation. Chura Santo, the Ra. The near God, the Pajang, and the gentle, no children, young Santo. I want to show you several years I got this show you said, as you know, you said, then you pay. I want to come out rather than the Santos and a patient chamber, Shabbat, said you, Pasha chamber show you like that. Pass on death, how could that the machine do
it? So we continue with the teachings. We are up to generating the mind cherishing others. So prior to this, we learned about the pitfalls of the self-cherishing mind. So text says here, thinking about the advantages of cherishing others again and again, in this way, you will generate strong enthusiasms to do so from the bottom of your heart. So if you look into the words of this in this very sentence, so and then if we reflect on this, then we get a really clear, good understanding of what we can learn, what we're supposed to do. So it's saying we have to not just want, we have to think over the advantages of cherishing other beings, over and over again, thinking of, even if possible, to make a list in our mind, what are all the benefits that we can derive from by cultivating this mind of cherishing other beings. And so as it says that from the bottom of your heart. So this is also to be not just simply be thinking about it, but actually in the depth of our heart, we should try to recognize this the benefits of this cherishing other beings, and also to recognize that how this is the way it is through cultivating this thought of cherishing other beings that it is really the true method to generate bodhicitta mind, and so therefore we have to think that there is such a even if we contemplate on this the thought of cherishing other beings even for a minute, there's a tremendous benefits, and just think of all the such a great very positive impressions that these will live in our mind, which will enabling us to really to cultivate, to give rise, to give birth to this precious mind of bodhicitta. So really, we all are interested in meditation practice, and then now here we find something really the true meditation practice, which is so profound and so beneficial, and so therefore really when we say that we practice meditation and then just put aside this meditation and trying to do some kind of different kind of meditation, then we are really making a big mistake with ourselves. So therefore, as the next the text goes, then you will not generate the mind neglecting others that has not yet arisen, and that which has arisen will not last long. So this is talking about how having cultivated this mind of cherishing others, then you will have a genuine concern, and empathy towards other beings. So therefore, as it is saying here, that then you will never forget, never neglect or ignore the kind of sufferings or the problem that other beings are going through, and so so therefore it is saying that we should also the thing of how as we cultivate develop this thought of cherishing other beings, then we should also think of if any thought of like such mind which neglect the well-being of other beings, if any such thought arise, we should try to prevent that, to get rid of it, and that's what he's saying here. and that which has arisen will not last long, and if anything such thought arise, such lack of concern to arise, then we should discontinue that, the continuation, such mind to last within us. And then by means of the thought that others are dear, pleasant, and attractive, as far as it has arisen, you should generate the mind cherishing others just as you previously cherished yourself. So here again, it emphasizes that we should decrease the extent of this thought of cherishing other being to such degree that how previously we are cherishing ourselves, we have such a high extent of the degree of self-centered mind. To that same degree, if we cherish this other being, then as it's saying here, then we have whenever we see any other being, then we have this sense of feeling other being seems to be so dear to us, something so pleasant and really desirable to our mind. So that's why it's saying the dear, pleasant, attractive, as far as it has arisen. So you should generate the mind cherishing others just as you previously cherished yourself.
That's so the in terms of the generating bodhicitta mind, then the main obstacles that we face is this our self-cherishing mental attitudes, and so which we need to we need to overcome. So otherwise, there is no way for us to generate bodhicitta or even these aspirations to benefit other beings. So we can also, if we look into the spiritual practice of a person of small scope, and then whose main really the aim is to find a good rebirth in future lives. So therefore, for that person, the main obstacles is this the attachment to this current life, this present life, temporary life, and so how must he or she must overcome that in order to achieve the goal. And similarly, when you look at the person whose goal is to simply reach to the state of liberations, then the obstacle, the main obstacle is really the attachment towards this cyclic existence of samsaras, and so therefore, as a way, he or she must then cultivate this a true
sense of renunciations. It is through that cultivation of the renunciation, then you can pave the way to get to the state of state of liberations. So in this way, now similarly, so now if we look into this, the person of somebody who's following the great stages of the path, then in that whose main goal is to really to benefit others, to shoulder the responsibility of other well-being of all other beings, and then so we can understand that this is such aspirations to benefit others will not arise if we do not unless we overcome these self-cherishing mind. So therefore there is really we must eliminate this and counteract this self-cherishing mind if we were to give rise to Bodhicitta mind.
Geshe Geshe the money corriging that over there. She have a chungun dream, but logi yapo, tell. She haven't did the logi yapo, tell you. That is it. Logi 10 tangy, Tabatona, Tony Sandus on Chechi level. She haven't did in lawyer. That did that wrong, she's a young woman do sonny. Then yellow ya cup on Gundua. That is that. Young woman is the same woman. Tata Chido, Jaggy Matana, Shonju Se, Shonju, Chod, Se Sheni, Geshe, Sanjay said the supper, Loba Day, and that chatter. Tata Jena, Shose, Masheba, Masheshi, Sheba, Manishi, Peda, Mateba, Da Jinza Yimbi, Dala, Sada, Denny, Jinet the Young. Senjala, Tada, Denny, Jimbe the Young, yes, you are. Tatella. The mother.
Okay, so then continue. The elder said, the Tibetan knows bodhisattvas who do not know how to train in love and compassions. Well then, how do you do it? And then you should do it having trained sequentially from the beginnings. So in here, of course, we understand clearly that in order to generate or give rise to bodhicittas, we must cultivate, we must have the love and compassion for all beings. And so therefore in this context it's saying that is the way the elder says you Tibetan know bodhisattvas who do not have love and compassions. So what he's saying is that is not that is not possible. And but however, having said that, if we relate this to our own practice, so if we may, even if we may sometimes we may feel that even if we really lack this such any really such element of love and compassion, but we feel that we have reached to the rank of bodhisattvas, and then as to now, and then as how to train in love and compassion. Then as it says, well then, how do you do it? So you should do it having trained sequentially from the beginnings. So this as we just discussed before. So there's the way we have to cultivate this. From the beginning. So you have to follow the So when you first follow the training, we have to follow the in a stage by stage. Even though we have this kind of tendency to, or it's a wish to really to make a like a leap, without bypass all the lower stages, lower steps, and we can live to the highest high levels. We may have that, but in fact this is the unrealistic. So it's not possible. So therefore it's saying it's emphasizing here that we for example, in order to cultivate these like bodhicittas. So we first have to cultivate. We have to cultivate all the other stages of the path. Which is shared stage of the path, which is shared by the person of the like a small scope and the middling scope. And it is when we reach to the stage of the person of the middling scope, and we develop in which for whom the main goal is to achieve the liberation, state of liberations, and then we develop the understanding of the practice of the middling scope to the state that we can clearly get some convictions that how if it is possible for us to achieve the liberation, based on a good ground of understanding, grounded on our own understanding and the reasoning, and then we can get some sort of this faith, conviction, faith that is possible to reach liberation. And then from there, then we go on how it is not sufficient to just to achieve the liberation for oneself, but for one must understanding that how one must also it is also important to rescue or to free all being from the cycle of existence and to place them into a state of liberation. So in this way, then how if we train ourselves in the stages of the great path. How after we training ourselves in the stages of the small and the middling scope, then we will make a very steady progress on the path.
Path English path no go be, no go D, no you be lost, no coming. This is what the body too much. There is them, the moment the most let
so the
money courage the luck. The much of a chewing in Malan did like in quarter month to a cave, Lama just by quarter month or quarter month to a good.
So this point is that is making here is the order when we follow when we train begin to engage in the training. So we have to follow the right order, like from the beginning. What kind of practice we have to do, and then from after that, what is the next practice we do? So we kind of that is what is emphasizing here, and then the text says here. The Langri Tangpa said, Shawapa and I have 18 human methods and 1 horse method, so 19 altogether. So the human methods are to generate the mind set on supreme enlightenment and train in doing whatever one does for the welfare of sentient being. The method of horse is the self-cherishing that does not allow bodhicitta that has not arisen to arise and that which has arisen to remain and increase. Therefore, having taught it in passing, we train in whatever harm taught it in passing. We train in whatever harms it. So as for sentient beings, we train in whatever benefits them. So having taught these as the fundamental points.
Mata Georges, yes, you tat Georges. Tata Georges, dash, done the tat, the Gid, yes. Takar, yes, you tat, Mata Gana, Matana, Shonju said, Chono, saying, then you are. Yes, you tat there in the chat. Shonju to the search and teacher, sent there are love, but they is, you know, Takala. May tan the thing in that is near shoot us in a middle there. Matana, Shunju, the say, Jenny, Geshe, Senji, tell love, but they is in that time. Long there. George, they're going to Sandup, that. Shilo, she was in their children, Sandup, son of Mother Young, son of the and Shilo, what she is. Tata, no, and Tata is here. She said, my sheba, my shakes. Sheba, Maneshi. Kona, Maneshi, Peda, Mateva. No, that Jinzi, be like that, a name, but I some tell them. Don't sound to the God. Tana, Tadana, she said, my sheba, my shaky. My sheba, Sheba, Maneshi. Ped them Matega, that's certain. Partial to Madua. Marshall says, Sheba, Chegman, Sheba, Negament, Negan, Pegment, what is the Jundua? The certain, Senna, Jeka, can you marching? Says, not in the Imbi, like that. There, shouldn't you say, go get the new go? Imbis? Da, then that in the Imbi, the last certain Chinet the child. The La Nepata, Nepata, called Chinek when the church was you tell, you ever Chinek with the Terra, ko nyemi sta sad ta sen de be sad da kan do dala sad te ne ko la nyemi de ne ko jin ne xie a sen je ta de ne sen je ji ba zhe ne jin be yo a su de ji be yo yi su da de de ne chara san do de de san chen do jong de 相就确认的呢，相就确认些些呢，这些现在在了用啊这意思，大战他的人家呢没打是的，你相信人家那相就些个他干的种，他大战的大战呢，说些没些吧没些，些吧没呢，没那些，拍的没得吧，那现在比。 一般人呢，如今的人呢，人被选择就是搞完的，现在搞完那个，然后呢，股票搞完了的，是吧？那这你那选择搞完的，那上多了。选择在现呢，完了，现在了的，就别想是，那上头的你老也挺嘛就，实打的年边，但你今年像个用是，现在了，特的现在现在几百岁呢是，也几百岁呢，今天的用也是他考虑一下呢是呀。
So just to, if you look into this this statement by this Langri Tangpa, who says Xiaobai and I have 18 human methods. So these are the 18. I mean, we won't be listing all the 18 here, but there are 18 which are called the 18 human methods. So which are primarily to. Yeah. So there's a two when it says, although it says here in a word 18 human methods, so we can take that 18 as a in some, according to some scholar, they come up with some 18 things, but there are others who consider this as a word, as a 18 as a word of many, just to say the numerous, to show it's not just one, it's like a many, another word for the many. So human methods, so which are primarily for to protect the something which is beneficial, something which is close to our hearts, like protecting our interests, self-interest, in protecting our the friends and relatives. So from that angle, so that is the human method, 18 human method. So that is primarily for that. And where is the one horse methods? So that is to method to counteracting the obstacle or hindrances, and so the human method are to generate the mind set on supreme enlightenment and train in doing whatever one does for the welfare of sentient being. So which is to this with the human method. So of course the first one should make strive hard to give rise to generate this supreme mind of enlightenment, and then as it says here, then after having generated this mind, then one train oneself into whatever actions, whatever things that you do to ensuring that they benefit, they are for benefiting other sentient beings. So as these lines, as we I always emphasize, that it's not enough simply reading, but more important is to really to deeply reflect and think on the meaning of this word, and as there is, as you know, it is said that even the words, words carries really a powerful inspirations and the blessings. So which can only receive such kind of blessing when you not simply reading the word, but actually reflect on deeply on those meaning. Then we can such blessing can flow into one's mind. And then then as it says, as to that the horse method. So where the primary the aim is to whatever that thing that which prevent us from the generating bodhicitta, and we're trying to to counteract. We're trying to destroy that. So and then as well as the whatever that if after having generated some sort of this body mind, and then whatever the thing that which then cause that mind to degenerate. So again, we must recognize that what is that which caused our bodhicitta to degenerate, and to cause that bodhicitta from preventing the bodhicitta from increasing it. So it's important to recognize those obstacles, those things which harms our bodhicitta mind, cultivation of the bodhicitta mind. So when we think of those things, of course, we're not going to our attitude should not be outward, but rather should be directed towards within towards ourselves, and right within ourselves, and then we should try to recognize that obviously is we can recognize that what is that which prevent us the bodhicitta to arise in our mind. So what is that? That is our self-cherishing mind, very self-centered mind, and likewise that which the cause the bodhicitta that we have generated to degenerate or to prevent it from increasing. Again, we have to finger point to this self-cherishing mind, which is within ourselves. So we go to take this on the teaching to pointing the obstacle towards this self-cherishing minds. Yes.
今日言别的，就是为了今日言别得了，今日得了，10点人生，是吧？年灭点的，或今年些啊是，那三界了，他的点，三界几百人，今别用啊是的，今别用啊，一是了，人哪人的。得了10单的是10点的10点是什么没10大些是那年8点的然后今日了年8得了真的几啊这全是这个
So
今日了今日的这个我现在可咋点呢可了真的些呢今日去弄了吧上多个上俺都现在了他这是呢现在上班呢也基本这边的他也这个也来也在呢现在了他这人基本有啊他这就是现在基本上呢他基本去啊兄弟他如今这年辈的呢把今年钱也今这了的呢好了也在成风呢基本钱工作他这里边呢也钱的进去了他从这头的别的这也别的
And then it says, therefore, in English translation, therefore, having taught it in passing, we train in whatever harms it. So the implication is that how after having recognized that really that the self-cherishing mind that is within, within ourselves, as really the main obstacles, the main enemies, the main cause of degenerating bodhicitta or preventing it from stopping it from increasing. Recognizing that, then as he's saying, we have to always have to view or see that as something very with almost like a very angry or a very frown look, and then we should do everything we can to harm or to everything we can to harm or to counteract that. And then whereas as he said, as for sentient beings, we train in whatever benefit them. So having taught these as the fundamental point, so we should say then, however, to our attitudes then towards the sentient being are such that they are the most important, as if they are the most important thing for us, the something the most cherishable, the cherishable things. And so with that kind of attitudes, then we we should engage in the any act. We do any action, anything that would be which would benefit them, and so in this way we are engaging in a training, so where we are able to develop this the mind of cherishing other beings, while diminishing these the self-cherishings.
ma ki chi ni je so pa ma je ba de yong de pa zhong mo ma je le ji de yong de da de se go le de wa ya le ro jia ge so jo xian jia la yo le xie de yo le xie ya le xian de fa le ba ya le na zhong mo ma xi ba de se de le de ji le de zai yong wo shi.
Then continue the text. The Kamlungpa said, since we act deviously towards noble sentient beings, so they will also do the same to us. So here the word it says devious, devious towards others. So whereas in the Tibetan, so there's a word. This yala yole, which means like bit like inconsistent, literally. So, but the
no honest. I am no honest other people. Other people no honest. I said that there's no honest. I'm not really honest. They are no honest. They I do honest. They do honest. I not do honest. They not do honest.
So which we can interpret it in a sense, by like being not being honest, with our dealing with the other sentient beings. We haven't been not consistent and haven't not been honest, and so therefore, as it says here, that they will also do the same to us. So like then we their attitude, then of course, and their dealing with us will also become very unpredictable and then very dishonest as well. No. Yeah. Yeah, normally, our attitude to others is also based on how they treat us. If they are not honest to us, then and we think that why should I be honest to them? Because they are not. Yeah. So of course, if the people are not honest or not nice to us, so it will hurt. It will hurt us. So therefore, the advice here is that we should be always be honest to and nice, pleasant, nice to us others. And so if we do this, then there is no reason for them to be not honest or not nice to us. So now the fifth subheading, which in English you have this, the appropriateness of putting effort by many approaches into the method for mind generations.
단다 센들 가서 전세 아버지용 맞은 세심한 가서 네 되는 게 정관 너때도 저랬어 너 아버지 손도 야마 태바 쳔비 자와 춤무주도 태바 쳔뭐 코로 자 춤무주도 너는 전세 두고 알았어 저 전세 태바 쳔비 자 춤무주 전세 지라서든 태바 쳔비 자ningen 줄롱죠 태바 쳔비 자 춤무주 농스 다 고자르니 태제비 세대진 첨마서 통전들라라네 비스 야 예마다시 내가 배되냐 로이톤 태베제 자다 로이톤 태베제 자다 맞지 봐 현세 톤 태베제 자다 태베제 자다 뭐 현세라 내가 뭐 다음에 또 비시라 내서 다음에 또 비시라 태베제 자다 매 봐. 예제 자죠 봐봐 예모 통제 사베지와 부와 태베제 자다 맞지 봐 현세 매 봐. 세점이 현세만 동야 말에 현세세 태바 쳔벌래요. 내가 안 손도다. 내가 안 손도 태바 쳔벌 현내는 자 처음부터 현세라 내가 그래서 내 손도야. 태바 쳔벌 걸어 자치 무슨 현세라. 현세라 생내는 거는 태바 쳔비 론 제버도 집에서 시상 맞추죠. 현세세 녀선은 저런데서 저거다. 소바 현세세 여아시도 다 여아타신이 세나만데 언제부터니 세나만데 된다다 자 콜서 현세세 코 예수 za de to ne ne xiao passion passion lo ne ne mu da da son de to ya ne re te ba chen ye me te son to shun se ji chen chor te ba chen ba re te se wu ya te da ge zi xian ju na mo ro so等你现在按照很多是直接的，现在每个他都没东西，啥西不给求或者是，按照现在路上这个现在拍，他上这头呀，这么的没写有，这些没对吧？这电笔记也是年的，对了，现在来。马些哪有这些？他确实是学生用的，这不是学生用的，他现在来把这也不白来就是。那马些哪有？在这没得把是，马些没得是，是吧？没得把在这边也些人对，在这老学也主动大人做些，因为人学生才是中国学生，才中开始做了点工的，也蛮的。想去采用有的都爸爸写的是这个吧，他们都被其他国有的人有没有这个吧？有的，真是让人做这个是吧？原来做，人家真做son，真的啥也不先用过吧？就是真的开始想，人家买些的，这咱没得吧？这电笔给些，这熊山电笔给些，这咱老熊也就主动大人做，熊山熊给老大人做。这代表这电笔最让的工作人大，让人呢，像你先进来的，咱的老百姓要么那是大些的，真大个的是大，你看是大的，对吧？大，第这的大，做啥这把熊个是吧？这做啥？这把熊是的，做啥这把熊一帮啊？你说做啥这把熊个做啥这把熊个全下面天嘛下面跟住上了大些地方人这一个了也入天吧这做啥吧的嘛跟住上了下做啥吧的这一个了也做啥吧也地方的说下地方下吧一嘛你对你讲这个全是啥叫你这才嘛从这个你咱那个地这做啥这把羊羊在咱老熊呢差别从天眼比来的没去比，搞这个热的，实在全是想买的，而且呢，真是的呢，他来的全部的，有些差别呢，从嘛吃从天着话的，来的全部的搞热的，他纠结的，搞的，他呀，
So just go over the text. So it is good if a habit developed that constantly check to what extent this mind has been generated. Since everything stems from it, whether or not the root of Mahayana has been planted, and whether or not one is included among Mahayanis. So here we find out about the qualities, the unique, the great, like the qualities of the generating of the bodhicitta mind. So which, as it says here, which is it is the root of the root of the Mahayana. It says like whether or not one have really established or planted the root of Mahayana path or not, it's really depend on your generation of bodhicitta, bodhicitta mind, and so therefore it is in our practice, it is not right attitude, to say that simply thinking that what's the point of making effort, it is too hard, too difficult to generate bodhicitta mind. So rather, but what is important, what kind of attitude we should at least try our best, put some effort in cultivating this bodhicitta mind, bodhicitta mind, and so that we know when we put an effort, even like as we read this text and then reflect on the meaning of this text, we are continuously implanting the seed of this bodhicitta, the really nourishing the seed of this bodhicitta within ourselves. So in this way, even there is all the effort that we put in these lives, so has a makes a difference in a future, when we in a future lives, then that can be a cause, and of course to actually to give rise to bodhicitta mind. So and then to, as it says here, to whether or not one is included among Mahayanists, so which is to say, it is the line, the demarcations line between between someone to call someone as a Mahayanist or not Mahayanist is having this bodhicitta mind. So if we find in the Shantideva's Bodhisattva Charyavatara, so where how it's saying that a moment this bodhicitta mind arises, then even in the continuum of like a animal or in a continuum of animal, then that it becomes a worthy object to be venerated by gods and the humans, and so we also heard about how the bodhicitta, if even though the the practitioners of a lower vehicles, such as like the hearers and the sharvakas, even if they reach to their state of liberations, nirvanas, which means that they reach a stage where they have completely abandoned all the mental afflictions, together with even the seed of the mental delusions, but yet, despite all this high level spiritual attainment of the state of liberations, they are not to be suitable to be called as, or not qualified to be called as a bodhisattvas or as a Mahayanis, whereas someone who enter into first the minor part of the accumulation, so is simply by the virtue of this giving rise to bodhicitta mind, then the person qualifying the person as a Mahayanis, and so in this way, then, as he says, even if it does not arise, so do not leave it at that, but rely on virtue's friend who teaches it, and always keep company with the companion. That is mind training. That is mind training. So again, we find here, if you really think about it, how such a great, very powerful, advice that the Lama Tsongkhapa is giving to us. That how we should not, we should not give up in our practice. So we have to do whatever it takes to that will suit our practice. Such as is saying, in order to rather than simply giving up on doing anything to cultivate bodhicitta. So rather than that, so we have to think of what we can do, how we can facilitate ourselves to give rise to this bodhicitta. So as it says, so you should always keep companions with the companion that is in mind training. So even talk about because this does help when one mixes with or the associate with those people who practices bodhicitta, and through that you want to be also inspired, and as well as we know how even if you are serious practitioners, then how we understand that, how we learn that, how in order to cultivate the generative compassions, then we should rely on the as a deity. We rely on the Avalokitesvada as our favorite deity, just as for cultivating the wisdoms of emptiness, we relying on the Manjushri as our favorite deity. So and then continue read the scriptures of the teacher and their commentaries. So which no need to mention that there are also the other things that you can also do to help one to the generate bodhicitta, or to create a cause to give rise to bodhicitta is to studying the text, and such as like the Shantideva's text, the Bodhisattva Chavatara is a wonderful text to for cultivating bodhicittas. And then as his cause accumulate the collection and purify obstructions, then how it is necessary. It is also the part of cultivating bodhicitta mind that we must accumulate. We must engage in the practice of the accumulations of the and purifying the negativities, and this, which we can clearly understand why this is important, the accumulation and the purification. Why this is so important, we also note in this the prayers, which we use as a formula to cultivate bodhicittas. Where the prayers start with the first, you take refuge in the three jewels. So which is to really to increase the merit, and then I decline all the negativities. You confess all negativity, which is purified, and then we note that in the prayer formula, which is for cultivating bodhicitta mindfulness.
Roots, Teta, Mashe, Teta, Mashe, Nayu, Teta, Madeva, Tetembi, Yashin, Tessin, the Candalojo. Tejo, Lojo Kondo, Lojo Trodon, Thought and Joe, Sangyo, and 3 apples soon then, Road 3 them, Geshe get much other. Teta, Sura, died. Nani, well, just a little, so drive young goddess, so the young goddess. Tell you, Lord Johnny, that's the Loja the Cabe and the Yacht, for some theaters. That joy is and that did. Take a chico in the June, then that bears, that bigger than a Massa, do Shesha. Nanda Tabiche, Shunchuse, Kayan baby, Shayun, Sazon Ben, Bebashan, and Mambasa. No, Dumasha Sheba, Yamatega, Tangana Mambasan, Dietego, Legan Sato, Dumashan Sato, that I do get any, Shunchu said, Rule said. Mambasa, Shunchu said. Running, you say, Shunchu said, there's a said, and Kayajin and baby, she ruggles, children bet, so that Benna, she Maria, she ruggles, and that, yes.
So, take us as a special note on this sentence, which says, which I read before, even if it does not arise, so do not leave it at that, but rely on a virtuous friend who teaches it, and always keep company with the companion that is mind training. So this is not only very much the emphasized and relevant here, but we can also apply this to all other practices that we're trying to do to develop our spiritual. This line is very effective to apply, and then the as says then continues. Since it is certain that if you train your mind in this way, the seed will be fully planted. So these actions are of no little importance and are reason for joy. Reason for joy. So this is just to emphasizing that that effort that you make in cultivating bodhicitta is not a small effort at all. It is such a very great effort. So you should not consider that as something very, something of a very little purpose. So rather, so you should think that as something of a tremendous benefit, a great benefit, and in this way important to rejoice in your own practice. And then continues, it is, as the great elder said, for those who wish to enter the gate of Mahayana Dharma, it's worth an aeon of effort for bodhicitta to grow. Which, like the sun and moon, eliminate darkness and pacify scorching heat. So here there's an analogy of how the bodhicitta mind is like the sun, which has which eliminate or dispel the darkness, and so it has that same effect on the bodhicitta, same effect on our mind in dispelling the ignored darkness, and likewise the moon eliminating the torment in our mind. So bodhicitta also has the same effect. So therefore, as it says in these quotations, that even if it's going to generating bodhicitta is going to take such a long time, or even aeons of ages, it is saying that it is still worth of making an effort. And then the text continues with the subheading, the measure of it having arisen. So the second, that should be understood what was already explained above. So that was already covered in some early section of the. There's a whole section that there's the text cover which explain the measurement of having having cultivated this the mind of enlightenment. So the relating to this, the measure of having generated bodhicittas. So this, just as part of this, studying about bodhicitta. So we not only we need to know the meaning of the bodhicitta, but also and the method how we cultivate. But also we need to know when we cultivate the bodhicitta, then what is the measurement that we can say that we have cultivated the full-fledged like a bodhicitta mind. So usually, the definitions of the bodhicitta mind is normally really a genuine wish or a like a thought to achieve aspiration, to achieve the complete enlightenment, to benefit all to all sentient beings. So this wish, this strong desire to achieve the enlightenment, in order to benefit all sentient beings. So given that as the definitions, meaning of the bodhicitta, then what he's saying is that the measurement is that if you such thought arise with respect to any single sentient being that you observe, even a being such like as tiny as an ant, when you observe that, if you like so forcefully, so spontaneously, so if you have this thought that of wishing, thought of the wish of wishing to achieve enlightenment, to benefit that sentient being, if that arises, and that is considered as a measurement of having cultivated bodhicitta. So this is also similar, when we talk about the measurement of having cultivated love and compassions, great love and compassion. Again, we can check that on the basis of how whether this sincere and this strong and natural flow of love arise with respect to any sentient being. Any single sentient being that we observe, whether if there's a thought of really strongly and spontaneously wishing that being to have happiness. So when such thought arises, is the indication of the love, genuine love within ourselves. And whereas the thought of wishing that sentient being that do not have any sufferings, so is the indication of having cultivated compassions. So now, as to this, the way to assume it by the explanation of how to assume the mind generating by means of a ritual. Now there are three subheadings: receiving that which has not yet been received, guarding that which has been received without it degenerating, the method for restoring it if it has degenerated.
Tambola sa Gong Lo Yi ye can this long. Gong Lebe there, Zalo Yin, Chohat Sasa Yoda, there's a candidate, ye lesser than a candidate go. Shunsin, Domba, Shunsin, Domba lesser than a candidate go. Lanke Kuda, the candidate go. Lebi Chohat candidate saying there.
So in this, the three, subheadings, receiving that which has not yet been received, so forth, so which give the presentations of the procedures of of receiving or taking the bodhisattva's vow. So it is showing how if we have not received the vow, then and what we have to do to receive it, like receiving that which has not yet receiving that which has not yet been received. So anyway, so we just go in that. The third has 3 points: receiving that which has not yet been received, guarding that which has been received without it degenerating, and the method for restoring it if it has degenerated. So then receiving that which has not yet been received. So it is explained under these 3 subheadings. From whom the object, that is the object from whom it is taken. So in terms of the taking the Bodhisattva's vow, so this talk about the suitable objects, from whom you take the vow, and then by whom, that's the basis that takes it. That is the talking about the life basis of the person, who takes the vow. So talks about the precondition of that person. Then how the ritual by which it is taken.
하도를 라서와 현세를 때도 주세 손비고 저거니 저 통전 데 르모세 데 대선데 대설 제가 말이 다링하셔 너는 저는 로데 데바다 거의 연주 쳐왔잖아 근데도 싫어도 이제 쳐 시 저다 나셔봐다 자 로르라 로 용비 현재的당의 가져오시면 되는데 로라 요즘 현주 세라 인진지 녀就是녀바실라 샤바 예도 산다 다 메세 저기 주디 산다 이제는 너는 대전이란 대대들 메세 저기 대들은 리스크 와래 다 고정도 돼 셔서 현세 시대는 하들로서는 터져져 있는 것이다 세계 계절에 더 가는데 때는 되는 좀 말해스 로데 당아도 계속 넘어 셔래 되는 로데 네바스 거의 인주야라 인주라 저한테봐 시라도 이제 청 주야시 주야다 나셔봐다냐 로로라 로 용비 현주 세라 인제지 녀와 주제 녀바실라잖아 셔봐 이노세 네 다 대신신 되어야 그런데 다
So the first
인제지 주제 녀와된 데 있어 있는데 그러나 전에 명화되는 마시 저저 아니 숑바 이제 영어 숑바고 근데 이제 건 대신 타들을 되는지 숑세지래 용량한테 좀 봐줘 거네 지금 숑세지래 근데 인제 영화지래 다 때때미 셔들었더니 주제 저기 주고서 이제 세상 눈이서 인제 영화세 전제 눈이 저거다 하고 된다는 거는 저한테 봐 제일 중요해 인제도 거더니 야건 되지 시라 제일 나다다 저도 생각이 영화세 인제 영화 되는 거 그랬더니 거기 와서 마시고 저저고 저저고 영어 시험 받고 이제고 화성고 다 나서 뒤 타들 되는 현실 되냐지 로 좋은 거를 다 지금 현실 세정한다 내건데 와 그죠 다들 이제 영화 제일 다 때때비 셔도 다 메시지 적을 주세요 그래서 자들 이 영화세 근데서
So just the text. The first has 3 points: from whom the object, from whom the object from whom it is taken. So by whom, the basis that takes it, how the ritual by which it is taken. Then the from whom the objects, from whom the object from whom it is taken. So first, the assertion of the earlier masters accord with Master Jitari that it is not enough for the person from whom the vow is taken to possess the vow of aspiring bodhicitta and to be abiding in the training. Rather, he must possess the vow of engaging bodhicitta. So this, if you look in this, the sentence, so it explains, defines the what the qualities that the person from whom we take these and then the by whom the basis that takes it. So this is talking about the person who takes this, who takes it. So second, the all gods, nagas, and so forth, who are physically and mentally suitable to generate aspiring bodhicitta, are also a suitable basis for each. The commentary on the difficult points of the lamp for the path says, repulsed by cyclic existence, so mindful of death, with wisdom and great compassions. So thus it should be someone who has gained a little experience of transforming his mentalities into bodhicitta due to having trained the mind in the stages of the path as explained previously. So here in the text, the explanation follows according to the commentary on the difficult point of the lamp for the path. So according to that, so it says that it should have the person who receive it. So here, rather than bodhisattva's vow, we can also refer to receiving the receiving, or rather the generating, ritually generating or giving rise to this bodhicittas. That the talking about that. So the person, the suitable person, suitable candidate who for the engaging in such rituals to generate this bodhicitta, this wishing or the aspiring bodhicittas. So here it says that it should have the qualities, where it says repulsed by the cycle existent, mindful of death, with wisdom and great compassion. These are all explained, but then through stage by stage the developed experience of realization, the experience of all these things that are mentioned here, such as the repulse, which is a sense of renunciation towards cycle existence, and the goes into the mindful awareness, death awareness, such a experience on that, and then with wisdom and great compassion. So essentially, when you look at the next sentence where it says, thus it should be someone who has gained a little experience of transforming his mentalities. So which in here in Tibetan, which says yigyur gi nyamnyong, okay? So which is like yi means mind, so mind changing experience, of the bodhicittas. So therefore the question is, if you ask when we would have that mind-changing experience of bodhicittas, then we can, one an interpretation is that how, if we, after we progress from all the practices related to the small scope, to the middle scope, and also to as we engage in the great scope and following for example, the sevenfold cause and effect method to generate bodhicitta mind. So we follow all, develop, progress along ourselves along all those the seven fold cause and effect, and then if we reach to the stage, like we cultivate like recognizing all these sentient beings as your mother, and then remembering the kindness, sense of repayments, and then the compassions, and then the loving kindness, and then when we get to these what we call as a superior intentions, that is to not only we feel really a strong love and compassion for all other beings, but also there's a sense of the responsibilities we feel towards all other beings, and superior intention. And so from as the propelled by that sense of like a universal responsibilities, then we give rise to a kind of bodhicitta. Then these are aspirations or a wish to achieve enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. So it is said that initially when such wish arises, such aspiration arises, it is not naturalist. It is we call it like a fabricated or artificial wish. So that is the one, according to one interpretation. So when we say here this yigyur ki nyamnyong, which is the mind-changing experience of bodhicitta, so maybe you can refer to that. So so the person who is suitable to receive, to generate bodhicitta through this ritual, so is a person who have that the mind-changing experience of bodhicitta.
Then wrong changes she got a man going so. Yet changes yet got a man Sonny. Then this are the Daja Jabang in the leg. In the leg. Dajabang in the leg, tin saw the little on don't let go my leg. Ra Nijim was that in Lambago, Shambim was that don't let go. Don't let go. 하소스 쉴용 하소 제리면가 나냥 하소고 하소 쉴래 단다 저자 동래냥 제거 저래 쉴 태그 다 선은 동아제제 배우면도 다 동아 통제자 다 통제 다 롱기 해근도 소소한데 다 다이 나 현실 생활에 용도 다 하수 되게 쉬운 되게 런데요. 랭이 있다. 드는 데 봤을래. 다 얘는 나 내가 통제 내가 통제자 나 맞아봐 타면도 다대 로제벌은 게네. 다대 롤란도 뭐다 대 롤아야 말이야. 더 선대사 봐 선던 소제 냐질 맞다 뭐도 소제지 터나 소제지 공부하는 그 예전들이 수행예전들 투예전들이 대예전들 제가를 대화실래 대화 대전들은 대화실래 얘다 대고서는 뭐뭐 쉬거든 현실 생활로 내용다 너무서 공부 통일래 현실 세세요 됐다 나 된데 당한테 선은 거자 예지래 더라 김의 현실에 소제지 현실에 세세 做这选举在上面，你知道我当我虚实了，我说，没做没给我打败，没做没啥子俺设计些，没做没把来，还是天的，没做没把打败，我虚实，他就给写我虚实来，然后他接着俺的节目谁啊进嘛的用过嘛的，是吧？节目这些人没那用过的，嘛结果刚刚呀，这上东一个进，他一个进来，就介绍。 今买没这个嘛，他是谁说我虚过来个，他是上多个嘛，对他们，呀他们。
So we will leave the tonight's teaching here. So next week we continue on the preparatory rituals. So which has a hang on this on the how that's the ritual by which it is taken. So which has a three. Subheading the preparatory ritual, the actual ritual, and the concluding ritual. And so in this talk, these teachings, in these teachings, so we mentioned a bit about the sevenfold cause and effect. So likewise, there's also other known method for cultivating bodhicitta is the method of exchanging, equalizing and exchanging self and others. So now, if we, from the point of view of that, following that this method of exchanging, equalizing, exchanging self and others, then how initially, so we have to meditate. We meditate on the equality of the self and others, and then after that, then we move to the to meditating or reflecting on recognizing the shortcomings of all the self-cherishing, and then after that, then we reflect on the qualities, worthy qualities of cherishing other beings, and then after that, then there is what they call as the we engage in the actual practice of where we exchange the self, self and others, and then after that, having gained some experience in that, then we move to we engage in this meditation on on giving and takings. So which is the giving. So which is to having having enhance the compassion. So you meditate on the on the giving. Sorry, on taking, which is love. Enhance enhance the compassions. Having enhanced the compassions, the force of the compassions, and so we meditate on giving, sorry, on taking, and then having enhance the love, then we meditate on giving. So through this, it is as once due to the force of this our experience of this meditation of giving and taking, then it says that this next step, which is the experience of this superior intentions, will naturally arise. Yes. Will naturally. So as by the virtue of this, you are meditating on giving and taking. So this you naturally gain the realization of these superior intentions. So whereby you you take upon the burden of the freeing the other from all the sufferings, all by oneself, all by oneself, and all the burden of the placing all on the state of happiness, again all upon oneself. So in this way, through this, then how even although you have such a deep sense of such the sense of responsibility to place lead all beings to the happiness, or to remove all beings from the sufferings, arises in you, but how realizing one's own limitations in practice to actually to benefit others, or to rescue them from suffering, then as one go to examine, investigate, then who has such a capacities to free all being, or to lead them to happiness? Then, so this is stage. So then you start to reflect upon the excellent qualities of the fully enlightened being, such as a Buddha, and so you start to develop this faith in the Buddhas, and through this faith then induces and what we call as this admiration, and then and aspirations to achieve, or wishing oneself to gain all those excellent qualities. And so this is where you give rise to the bodhicitta, which is a wish or the aspiration to achieve the state of Buddhahood to benefit all sentient beings. So which, as we just mentioned before, so bodhicitta, how initially is, the kind of bodhicitta which we arise is, we call it in Tibetan like a solche, which is like a with effort, because that bodhicitta only arises by dependence on one's effort. So it is a bodhicitta with sowa, or with effort, and then however, after when you become very familiar with this bodhicitta, further familiarizing yourself with this bodhicitta mind, then eventually it will arise without effort. Then it's a tsome. It arises, and this is the true bodhicitta to be we're talking about, which arises spontaneously and forcefully, and equally to all sentient beings.
Tea or tea and biscuit or can or
the people, a lot of people here who attended some like a public, the program by His Holiness Lama, and found it very beneficial. What things that they have learned here, such as on bodhicitta's mind, and then how when they at the time of the His Holiness event, then everything comes together. So it's really worth. Maybe bring tea.